early PS1 to PS2 era Capcom, when the publisher was throwing at us new IP after new IP, built off of the back of their new 3D survival horror smash hit Resident Evil, including the sadly deceased Dino Crisis. Hope that makes a comeback pretty soon. To giving birth to one of the greatest action game franchises, Devil May Cry. But before that, there was another, the well-renowned Onimusha, that sets a lot of the standards that will be found in Devil May Cry God of War included. Hello, it's the Devil Joe, back again with a brand new video. And today, in anticipation of the brand new Onimusha Way of the Sword, I'll be looking at all the previous titles in this now rejuvenated Capcom franchise, going over 5 things they did right and 5 things they did wrong. Starting off with Onimusha Warlords to then move on to the other games in the franchise. Without further ado, let's find out what my modern-ass gamer self found right and wrong in this 20-year-old game in the year of 2025. Kicking things off with the 5 things it did absolutely right. First thing Onimusha did right is that exploration. Just like the first and third Devil May Cry games, the title takes place all in one castle. No different locations. But somehow they managed to use every single inch of the hardware's capabilities that they knew of at the time. The castle itself is a huge labyrinth with courtyards, chambers, underground caves that tie into one another, making the castle seem way bigger than it actually is. Add to the fact that it doesn't have a particular mission or chapter structure, makes you feel like you're going through a freeform game, adding to the go at the thing at your own pace type of deal, despite making this title feel a lot more confusing to get through. Plus the mix of 2D and 3D rendered areas, handing this game that charming PS1 to PS2 transition look it has because of that limitation. After all, this was gonna be a PS1 game before they decided to move it on to the brand new PlayStation 2. Bringing us to the next point. Second thing this PS2 classic got right is the overall atmosphere. The feudal Japan aesthetic reminds me of a Kurosawa/90s anime OVA, mixed with a horror movie, with a dash of Berserk. Before getting in the castle, the forest you're walking through feels like a war-torn piece of land that went through countless deaths. Just now it's being taken over by demons. Even these caves look unsafe as fuck to be in. Like anything can attack you at a moment's notice. Walking into the castle, that's a completely different story. The palace is haunted and overrun by these creepy ass looking samurai shinobi. CR7, yeah, they call these things Reynaldos. So I decided to throw that reference in there. Different large hulking devils that might as well pop out at any minute. Shit's scary, man. Even the shrines look abandoned. No wonder the game is known as Samurai Resident Evil, that got a lot of the foundations that'll be used later in Devil May Cry, God of War, and Ninja Gaiden. Third thing it did right is the fun yet deep combat systems. I'm surprised by how much of an unadulterated blast this 24-year-old relic of a game turned out to be. And that's coming from me, a dude spoiled by the Devil May Crys, Ninja Gaidens, Bayonettas, and God of Wars, only getting into this 2001 title in the year of 2025. Because a new game is coming out next year. While the combat isn't exactly combo heavy like the other games I mentioned, but trust me, it's hella fun to cut demons up using them swords as Samanosuke. What you got is the square button for standard attacks that changes with the R1 button. It even allows you to go for more thrusting moves. It feels pretty damn good slicing dudes up. Hell, you even got the executions that made its way onto Ninja Gaiden. Oh, and that block button is nothing short of your right-hand man in this game. If you time it perfectly, you're able to counteract any attack that comes your way, getting most of your health back through the yellow orbs. You might even get your magic attacks back through the blue orbs. Not to mention the surplus of red orbs to use for upgrades, for the gems and swords. While going through the swamp, you'll start off with a standard katana that'll be trashed once you get the Raisin Lightning Katana, because of that OP magic attack of rapid strikes ending off in a massive fuck-off electrocution. To the Enryu Flame Strike. You even got the crowd control of the Shippu's tidal wave. of a storm that needs to be recharged through the blue orbs that get absorbed into the Oni Gauntlet, bringing me on to the next thing this title got right. I almost forgot this game introduced playing as a second character before DMC or Ninja Gaiden ever thought of the idea. You take control of the girl Ninja Kaede, playing differently from Sakanoue. You can't steal souls or nothing as her. On the other hand, she moves faster than Sakanoue, while taking more damage than he does, using a dagger instead of a katana with rapid strikes. Fast dodges, kunai throws. I'd argue playing as Kaede feels a lot more like a survival game, since Sakanoue is an absolute unit, once you know how to keep your magic attacks. Not to mention mastering block counters, allowing you to tank most of the game. Having said that, both characters are fun to play as. Fourth thing Samurai Resident Evil got right with flying colors is that weapon variety. Each new weapon after Samanousuke's default katana, picking up a new orb, gets the soul-stealing Oni Gauntlet to spawn a new weapon, other than the magic attacks. Raisin acts like the basic katana, but it's faster, it even deals way more damage. Then you get Enryu. It might be a slower heavy weapon, but trust me, it deals insane amounts of damage, taking out a few demons in a flash. Man, it even helped me out, fighting off some of the heavy hitters, bosses included. Then there's the two-bladed staff Shippu. This is the fast-paced, fun as fuck to use crowd control tool that can hit up more than one enemy. I need to check if I have yet to find any combos to pull off with this thing. There's also the Bishamon sword, but I have yet to unlock that one, despite beating the game. I might do so after going back to it, which I definitely will, because I love this title, plus expect to see some more Onimusha videos coming from me. Fifth thing this game nailed right out of the park is that cheesy yet fun and simple to follow video game plot. I love how simple and bare-boned this entire thing is. No need for elongated exposition or elaborate backstories. All you need to know is that after Nobunaga died, he's resurrected by demons, so you gotta save the kidnapped Princess Yuki. Along with this kid, you get mystical powers from a bunch of ogres to kill demons, handing you the soul-stealing Oni Gauntlet. Then this void-looking dude from Berserk shows up out of nowhere, with his weird as fuck inventions creating Reynaldos, planning to sacrifice the princess so that the demons can take over. Samanousuke over here has a crap ton of devils to kill. Just a basic plot full of that early 2000s Capcom voice work we're all so fond of. I don't find this a flaw with the game. I find it something that adds to the title's charm. Simple plots like this in a video game are pretty refreshing, compared to all the other game plots trying their damnness to give the deepest plot ever, to then fall flat on its face at the end of it all. Now that we got all the pros out of the way, we get to the 5 things the game got wrong. First thing this title got wrong are them tank controls. I'm specifically talking about the movement controls. This game operates like an old school Resident Evil, using the D-pad for movement. Forward gets you to move forward, left-right gets you to position Samanousuke in the direction you want him to move in. Back is the back dodge. Now, I know this is more of a survival horror first than hack and slash second. On the other hand, you're put into multiple encounters, where you're fighting more than one enemy. The heavy movement makes the encounters a lot more awkward to handle. After killing a dude in front of me, I'll have to turn my ass around, to then later try the quick turn. That rarely points you in the right direction. Heading towards an enemy can be pretty damn slow, even playing as Kaede, the faster character. I have to admit, them quick dodges of hers are pretty fun to play with. That complaint is coming from my trashy ass modern gamer self, who's used to the ease of moving around using the left analog stick in a 3D space. But you quickly get used to the tank controls, so I'm just nitpicking here. Second thing it got wrong is the lack of difficulty options. The game only has one difficulty level. You don't unlock any harder modes after the first playthrough. You stick with the same one. I mean, it would have been nice to challenge everything that you learned about the game on harder settings. The only other difficulty you got is easy. Sure, I could try to get a harder challenge on easy. It would have been nice to get different enemy placements and beefier bosses, except for Third thing the game got wrong is that Hikuba boss fight. Squaring off against Bug Lady over here is all the issues them fixed camera angles and tank control movements all in one. Stick that goes up your asshole directly. First off, Hikuba is one hell of a mobile boss that can attack you at a moment's notice. From high up in the air with a fuck ton of minions overwhelming your ass to death. You barely get any sort of a window to suck up any souls. For health or magic, you'll probably get swiped away once that thumb of yours hits the circle button. You might as well lose whatever health you healed up absorbing a yellow orb. To top it all off, I can barely move around or see what's coming my general direction. I might as well be playing with a blindfold on. The rifle helped me out a bit. Aiming the thing can be stiff. My ultimate strat was spamming the Shippu's magic whirlwind attack to catch Hikuba in the air, trying to mobilize her, mixing the fire slam with the occasional shotgun blast, barely beating the overgrown insect that uses cheap shots against you. Fourth thing this title got wrong is that water puzzle. Onimusha is filled with a ton of well-made puzzles that'll test your overall brain power. This game of tic-tac-toe comes to mind. Getting to the tic-tac-toe game is fun in its own right. Opening up the chests requires some brain power just to get it open. Then we get to this asshole, the goddamn water puzzle. First off, the instructions are kinda vague. Getting the two pieces together feels stiff as all hell. I mean, you gotta hold the X button on the stone pieces to move the wooden pieces, making it take forever to shift around. On top of that, you can only move the semicircle using the wooden blocks. Hold the X button and move the D-pad. I'm not gonna lie to you and say this. Shit brought me endless amounts of rage when that fucking timer ran out because of this piece of crap puzzle being as stiff as a motherfucker. That was about to hold me back from getting to enjoy the rest of this game due to it being a pain in the ass. Fifth thing this game got wrong is the fixed camera angles. Alright, before I get shot in the head in the comments section, I like how the fixed cameras are in this game. It adds a ton to the atmosphere. A lot of these environments couldn't have been sold with the typical third-person camera angles found in other action games, adding to the horror factor of this title. With that being said, it can be a pain in the dick hole, especially when you got multiple enemy types coming at you from off-screen when you least expect it, causing endless bouts of rage, including the Hikuba boss fight. Hell, you might even get confused to where you are on the map. To add insult to injury, there is no camera control in this 3D space. That, ladies and gentlemen, is another complaint coming out of my trashy ass modern gamer self. Other than that, it's something you quickly get used to. All in all, Onimusha Warlords holds up surprisingly well in 2025, a whole 20 years later after it came out. The fact that a gamer like me who's used to games like this found himself enjoying the fuck out of this early PS2 launch title is a testament to how much Capcom was cooking at the time, with the limited resources compared to what's on offer now, handing us this damn near timeless gem. If you like titles like God of War and Devil May Cry, you owe it to yourself to give Onimusha Warlords a whirl. Trust me, it'll deliver a great time. With that out of the way, we come to the end of this video. What were your guys' thoughts on it? And if any of y'all have played Onimusha Warlords, how did you guys find it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and smash that subscribe button flame strike style. At 10,000 subscribers, I'll pull off a whole ass Dante combo video in real life, wearing this entire cosplay. Trust me, we are pretty damn close. Hit the bell icon to get notified on whenever I drop a brand new Onimusha or other action game video. And trust me, y'all will be seeing a lot more Onimusha out of me, along with my other Devil May Cry stuff. This has been the Devil Joe signing out.